Hello everyone. Welcome to the Blockchain News Club. I am excited to bring you the latest updates from the XRP world. 2023 is an important year for XRP. In today's XRP update, CEO of Ripple says that the SEC case will definitely be settled in 2023. Despite the SEC investigation, Brad Garlinghouse has stated that the company is growing beyond the US swiftly. Brad Garlinghouse also told that in terms of total transaction volume on RippleNet, XRP accounts for more than half. Then we have the Urugayan government central bank has recognized Ripple as a money transfer service deserving of preferential treatment. Before we dive deep into today's updates, please subscribe to our Blockchain News Club channel. It will help us immensely. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission is still suing Ripple Labs, claiming that the blockchain company sold unregistered securities. The lawsuit has gotten a lot of attention, but Ripple Labs CEO Brad Garlinghouse is still optimistic about the outcome, both in terms of the judgment itself and when it will happen. In fact, Garlinghouse told CNBC during the annual conference of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, on January 18 that he thought the SEC case would be over by the end of the first half of this year. When the hosts asked the CEO of the blockchain company about the lawsuit, he said, "We're sure this will be solved in 2023, maybe in the first half of that year. We'll see what happens next, but I'm very happy with where we are in terms of the law and the facts." Garlinghouse made it clear that Ripple would be happy to settle, but this couldn't happen unless the regulator said that XRP wasn't a security. Gary Gensler has said very publicly that he thinks almost all crypto is a security, said the head of the SEC. That leaves very little room in a Venn diagram for settlement. Going forward, he said again that he was very hopeful about how the whole case would end, saying, "I think I've seen a big change in the SEC's attitude, and I can't imagine that the judge won't give us a decision." Andrew Pickett, the lead trial attorney at Andrew Pickett Law, said that if Ripple won the lawsuit, it could help solidify XRP's legality in the US market, which would be good for the price. This was first reported by Finbold. In another place, Garlinghouse said that Ripple had a record year in 2022, even though the cryptocurrency industry as a whole was having a hard time. He also said that he was very optimistic about the future because he thinks that new technologies like blockchain can solve real problems on a large scale. We shouldn't forget that it was only 21 years ago that Amazon almost went out of business during the dot-com bubble. So, I think it's good for the long-term health of the industry that there are some changes in the crypto world. Lastly, when asked about the collapse of the crypto trading platform FTX, Ripple's CEO said that he didn't see it as a crypto problem in general. He compared it to Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme and said that it didn't completely change how people thought about overseeing and regulating hedge funds. Despite the SEC case, a Ripple executive says the company is building outside the US quickly. Brooks Entwistle, Ripple's Senior Vice President of Global Customer Success and Managing Director for Asia Pacific and Middle East and North Africa, has said that the blockchain company is quickly building its core business offerings outside of the United States. Entwistle said in an interview with CoinDesk TV on January 18 that the fast growth is driven by more opportunities around the world. He also said that the growth hasn't been affected by the ongoing regulatory concerns in the US. But because of how the crypto market is right now, the executive emphasized that Ripple's growth is focused on specific projects with potential and takes a targeted approach. Because we see so many opportunities outside of the US, we are building very quickly there. This year, we won't try to chase after shiny things. In this kind of setting, there is no room or time for that, he said. Entwistle's comment suggests that Ripple wants to be less dependent on the US market, where there is still a lot of uncertainty about how cryptocurrencies are regulated. In this way, he said that the company works with regulators all over the world, but mostly in places where they are friendly. He also said that Ripple hopes that US regulators will change their minds about the company and work with it. Part of the company's growth around the world is based on its ability to help banks roll out digital currencies issued by central banks. Entwistle said that Ripple is already talking with smaller central banks about the idea of making CBDCs. Let's take a look at the crypto market and how XRP is about to do a complete 180-degree flip. XRP price has kept traders and investors on the edge of volatility as the trend creates confusion in the crypto space with worries about the controversial central banks. Market experts think that a sudden change in the Bank of Japan's monetary policy and responses from an official at the European Central Bank, Villeroy, could send a shockwave through the XRP token. But Ripple may win the lawsuit against the SEC, since U.S. Attorney John Deaton has criticized predictions that the SEC will win. Trading Surfers, a well-known crypto analyst, says that the XRP token will go up in price exponentially if it hits certain price points. The analyst says that XRP has been waiting for a bounce off the important level of 34 cents for a year. The analyst said that if XRP breaks above the 38-cent price zone, it could start a slow rise on its Elliott path to $1.50. But on a smaller scale, XRP could bring more bad news if it falls below the price range of 34 cents to 38 cents and goes down to 18 cents. Will the bulls of XRP give up because of the FUD situation? Even though the crypto market is still on a bull run, altcoin traders are afraid of XRP's price because the token is having trouble keeping its price near the 200-day simple moving average. But XRP's trend hasn't changed as much as other altcoins on the market, and it looks like it will move sideways by 25%. CoinMarketCap says that the price of XRP is now $0.3897, which is a rise of over 2% in the last 24 hours. The stochastic RSI has pulled itself down to a stable area near 72, while the RSI 14 has dropped to 61, which shows that the market has been going up for a long time. If you look at the daily price chart, you can see that XRP has again built support at 37 cents after the EMA 200 trendline pushed it back down. The price of XRP could go up if people stop being so negative about central banks. If XRP keeps going up to its 23.6% fib retracement and makes a breakout trade above 41 cents, it could convince bulls to buy more, which would push it to the upper limit of its Bollinger Band at 45 cents. XRP accounts for more than half of all transactions. Brad Garlinghouse talks about the current state of the crypto space, the Ripple SEC lawsuit, XRP, and other things at the World Economic Forum 2023 in Davos. In particular, he said that the XRP token's role in Ripple's transactions is still very important. More than half of all transactions go through XRP. More than half of the trading volume for Ripple Labs is done with tokens that are linked to Ripple. When he talked about this, he said that the SEC would sue the company in December 2020, saying that they were selling XRP without registering it as a security. Garlinghouse said that the first 3 months of 2021 would be hard because he didn't know how Ripple's current customers and new customers would react. Still, the lawsuit hasn't stopped Ripple from getting many new customers since then, but Garlinghouse said that 95% of them were from outside the US. So, Ripple is starting to do more and more business outside the US. Garlinghouse says that Ripple is now handling transactions worth billions of dollars every quarter. More than half of all transactions are done with XRP. He said that was on-demand liquidity. The CEO also said that Ripple is getting more customers as it adds more currency pairs based on XRP. Let's take a look at this.
About that is the SEC sued us around the question of is XRP a security at the end of 2020. And I'll admit, the beginning of 2021 was a stressful, Q1 was a stressful quarter for sure, because you now have a lawsuit in the largest economy in the world, and you didn't know how your existing customers would react, let alone new customers. And what we have seen since then, it particularly non-US, well over 95% of the customers we've signed in the last 2 years are non-US. Our activity is growing more and more outside the United States, and it's because you have this confusion in the United States. So we're now processing billions of dollars of transactions every quarter, and well over half of our total transaction volume, because we do have a fiat and XRP enabled product called on-demand liquidity. Over half of all of our transactions go through XRP now. That has grown, and so again, we're continuing to sign more contracts, more customers, and then the contracts and customers we have grown, partly because we opened more corridors, more currency pairs. And so there's kind of a nice series of building a positive, virtuous cycle that helps grow the business.
We have some major news coming from Uruguay. The Central Bank of Uruguay has said that Ripple is a company that transfers money and has special rights. The Central Bank of Uruguay, Banco Central del Uruguay, has given Latam Software permission to hire Ripple to do work. This was written in a notice from the central bank that said the company could be registered as a money transfer company. The BCU's website has a notice that says Latam had met all the requirements needed to use RippleNet. So, the BCU gives the company permission to use the blockchain-based settlement platform for the exchange of information between correspondents. The notice said, considering that the company needed permission to hire Ripple Services Incorporated to use its RippleNet platform for the exchange of information between correspondents, the manager of financial regulation has given Latam Software permission to outsource services to Ripple Services Incorporated. The approval was first given in March 2022, but the BCU didn't make it public until earlier this month. The document also says that Latam can hire Mati Technologies, a Mexican company, as its KYC solution provider, and use Amazon Web Services to store data in the cloud. Rathoff Kahneman, a member of the XRP community, has pointed out that on-demand liquidity adoption may not be part of Latam's contract with Ripple. He says that the notice says the company only wants to use Ripple for messaging and data. Uruguay wants to work more closely with Ripple? The BCU's approval of Latam software has made a lot of people in the XRP community feel bullish. Rafael Aguiar Menendez says that the notice could mean that the government wants to work with Ripple more closely. The Uruguayan who backs XRP pointed out that the BCU's plan for 2023 to 2025 calls for more people to use technology. It also talks about more work being done on the e-peso, which is the digital currency issued by the central bank. The central bank hasn't said for sure if it will work with any blockchain companies. But the rumors are based on what Ripple has done in the past with CBDCs. Ripple provides a full platform for creating, managing, trading, and destroying CBDCs. The solution lets central banks build their CBDCs on a private ledger based on the technology of the XRP ledger. Bhutan, a country in South Asia, already uses this method. In the same way, Ripple recently talked about the benefits of CBDCs. Ripple says in a Twitter thread that CBDCs can make the country more competitive, make the payment system more efficient, and encourage new ideas. Ripple also said that it thought about 90% of central banks were working on a CBDC. If Ripple gets a deal with the BCU to work on their CBDC, the price of XRP could reach new highs. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for regular updates in the blockchain community.